Hello and welcome to the ShElite Showcase. I am your hostess with the Moses, the shaman of ShElite, the hardest working woman in podcasting who has back pain right now, Katie Kinsey, baby.
Baby.
Ow. It's just like right in my
I'm
upper
trying to
back.
pop mine back.
Oh god, it hurts. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, while we're figuring out everything with ourselves, my lovely co-host joining me, the Young Bucks Nation sensation, the fire breathing, the Rhodes family eating, the spice of life, the sassiest senorita that I know, the hangman Adam Page to my widow Adam Cole Bay, Miss Y to Garcia Savan, na 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 na. Hi Savannah.
What's up?
Oh,
Not as enthusiastic today. It's been a long week. Not just like inside and outside of wrestling. It's just been long. I'm really tired. It's not the most enthused. I'm not the most enthused today.
Yeah, I mean it's been a real interesting week.
Yeah.
Alright, we're just gonna jump in here. I'm not gonna start with the saddest thing yet. If you're in the wrestling community, you already know what happened, but we're not there yet. Let's start with a little bit of good news. At Impact's latest pay-per-view, which was last weekend, Mickie James, yeah, we love Mickie James, she became a new Knockouts champion. Hold on. Ow. Defeated Jordan Grace. Didn't watch the match, because I don't watch Impact. But heard it was a hell of a match. So, kudos to them. Mickie doesn't have to retire. Will she show up in the Rumble? I don't know. We're going to talk about it next week. We're going to talk about all of our Rumble picks and things next week because...
All things Rumble.
Oh, all things Rumble because next Saturday is the Rumble. So, and we're doing the show Thursday. It all just makes sense. It's just all right there.
You have to do that.
Yeah. Oh, learned about... Oh.
We were
talking about conspiracy theories.
Before we recorded this. Oh, a lot of conspiracy theory chat here.
Yeah, see, this is why everyone needs to, join the live chats in that and everything. Because you can see what we're talking about. You can be a part of the conversation. Twitch.tv/ShElite Showcase. You know what I'm saying? Show up around 6 p.m.
Ish.
Matt said he's going to assign me Impact for SmackDown going forward. That's just disrespectful. I don't deserve that. Give it to Vince. He doesn't watch Dynamite or Rampage. Give it to him. At least I watch those. Anyways, there's also just a lot of Impact-related news. I also basically stopped taking notes after, Wednesday. For reasons,
After Wednesday. That's literally the day before the show.
Well, I mean, there also really wasn't, anything. Vince, had a multi-million-dollar settlement with the referee he sexually assaulted back in the 80s. So they did, oh no. Matt said we have to talk off air, I'm scared. So Vince settled that. According to the Wall Street Journal, they settled the multi-million-dollar settlement with Rita, the former WWE referee. So that was a thing that happened. Also, that actually just happened. I just saw that article this morning while I was at work. So I didn't even read any of that, I'll be honest with you. I'm just going based off of the headline of the article. What were you going to say?
I was about to say we froze because we did just for a bit, but it continued.
Oh, listen, OBS has been a pain in my ass for the longest time. I don't know why. I should have never updated it because it runs slower and makes us laggy, and I hate it, and I want to jump to StreamYard, but I'm so used to OBS. It's not a fun time, you know? I'm just trying my best here. I'm just trying to get a show.
We're fine.
Alright, you know what? We're just gonna... Serious time, people. And then we'll get back into some lightheartedness, I promise. Like the Twitch title thing says, it's been a rough week. Not just for Savannah and I, who have both said we are exhausted. For wrestling fans and wrestling in general. As we know, well, actually, some people might not know this. NXT superstar Amari Miller. Do you know who that is?
I feel like I've heard the name.
She's been on TV a little bit here and there the past year or so. She posted a TikTok, which I'm also just going to say this now. A trigger warning for mentions of death, mentions of unaliving, and unaliving attempts. So if you're not in that, if you're not into that and you guys don't want to hear that, I understand. Feel free to skip ahead. I understand. This is like at 7 minutes, so if you want to come back at like minute 15, if you're watching this after the fact or listening, I completely understand. But yes, back to Mary Miller. She posted a TikTok. I can't remember like what the sound was or anything. Basically saying she attempted to end her life a week ago. She's okay now. And she said, like, she didn't want sympathy or anything. It was more so just, like, mental health awareness, which, you guys know us. We big components of that. That is why the Crisis Text line and the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline are on screen always, and the first lines after the description in the description. That's why I always put that there. Mental health over physical health. Point blank, period. If you're struggling, talk to somebody. Reach out to anybody. This is for anyone and everyone listening. If you're down, reach out. There's somebody. Even if it's a stranger, if it's a teacher, a parent, a relative, anybody. Or these text lines that are on screen. You have that at your disposal. Use them, please. And kind of along those lines, Kevin Nash has a podcast, as some people might know. His son died a few months ago. I can't remember the reason, and I just saw it, and it's gonna bother me. But it wasn't that. It was like a disease. Something happened. But Kevin was making some remarks on this podcast in regards to, as he tweeted today, sarcastic comments about unaliving himself. So this is, and again, this all happened before Tuesday. This was stuff that happened before the big thing that we didn't even get to talk to about yet. But Kevin said he's okay. Kevin said he's okay, and if you can hear that in the background, I'm sorry. And I didn't get to fully read his tweet, but everything's fine with him. He's good. People are taking care of him, checking up on him. Now let's get to Tuesday. Tuesday, normal day, normal night. I just see vague tweets on Twitter, and again, like vague tweets, because that's what journalists do. They do vague tweets. Stuff like, I'm hoping it's not true. Praying it's not true. Like, again, just very vague and random stuff. Me, I was very curious. I do some digging. I find no information. I see Jay Briscoe's name pop up a few times. And now I'm really Nancy Drew in this shit. I'm really trying to, like, figure this out. And sorry. So on Tuesday, hold on. Give me 1 second. Sorry. So on Tuesday night-ish, Tony Khan tweets that I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly, like his legit name, Jamin Pugh. Do you know if that's...
I've never really heard his actual name, but I cannot think of any other way you pronounce it.
Yeah, so if that is not the correct way to pronounce your name, his name, I apologize. He's mostly known as Jay Briscoe. Tony Khan tweets that he is no longer with us, and everyone's just very confused. The outpour from fans, wrestlers, everyone in the community, like, just outpouring of love and respect. Everyone loved Jay. He was a 13-time Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion, Ring of Honor World Heavyweight. This man's tag team career alone is impeccable. What happened is there was a car accident. Him and the female driver of the other truck who swerved into him and his 2 daughters who were in the back seat. So Jay and the female driver died on scene. His 1 daughter, the names I do not know, and that's not my business to put out there. The 1 daughter is having back surgery, like severe back surgery, and the other is banged up, but she's okay. Serious injuries, but she's okay, according to an update from Jay's wife, Ashley, which posted on Facebook. And people were saying that his wife also died in the crash, which I don't know where people got that information from. It became Twitter. It became Twitter, basically, and everyone's trying to find information as to what happened. But all we know is that Jay was 38. He is no longer with us. He had a tremendous impact on, like, tag team wrestling. He was on the first match on the first episode of Ring of Honor. Last night, after they filmed Rampage, they did an entire tribute show to Jay Briscoe and flew people in last minute to do this show. It'll be free on YouTube and, Honor Club. I don't know when that will be dropping. I don't think Tony Khan said. And, so I found this out today, that Warner Brothers apparently did not allow this tribute show to be on TV, but yet Dana White can slap his wife and then have his slapping competition air after Dynamite. Make fucking sense.
I don't mean to laugh, but it's just the irony. Like, the dude who fucking slaps his wife can still have his slap contest, but they can't tribute a man's life. They can't, like, honor a man's life publicly the way he deserves to have his life honored as much as he contributed to wrestling.
Exactly. And people will consistently bring up the fact that Jay has made some comments about LGBTQ plus people in the past. A, he has apologized numerous times for all of those comments. B, as someone who's a part of that community, I had nothing against Jay Briscoe and the comments he said. People change. It happens. People grow. I understand. Major wrestlers in this community, in the LGBTQ plus community, were friends with Jay. Like, they talked to him consistently. So the fact that people and Warner Brothers will hold that against him and use that as a factor as to why they will not air, it's a bunch of bullshit. Regardless, we got a tribute show, and Tony Khan said there will be tribute shows going forward. I was scrolling too fast and I couldn't read the full tweet. Something about maybe the first Ring of Honor pay-per-view that they have, or the next Ring of Honor pay-per-view, I mean, will be some type of tribute show as well. Yeah, all I know is that prayers, thoughts, everything.
So, will they be doing like a dynamite, like kind of like what they did with Birdie, or you don't know?
Probably not, just because Warner Brothers.
Fucking Warner Brothers. Okay.
Yeah. If there's going to be one, it'll be on like, Ring of Honor, Honor Club, stuff like that.
I'm glad they have some way of doing that. It's just bullshit that, again, this dude, Jay, is being, his past is being brought up at a time when it really shouldn't, especially after the fact that he's apologized, he's taken accountability, and most importantly, he's learned. It's not like he's repeating himself and saying more homophobic stuff, or he's like, just apologizing just to get like the weight off his shoulders and to save his reputation. Like, he's learned and he's grown, and he's, the words that he said back then are not the words he would ever stand by.
Yeah.
Like, as since then, since he apologized. And I hate that that's the reason why they prevented them from honoring his life. I thought it would have been perfect, like, not perfect, but like it was well timed. Like, not well timed, like, how do I say this without sounding fucked up? Like, it happened on a Tuesday. It was on Tuesday when unfortunately he passed. So when's the next dynamite was literally the next day.
Yeah.
So it would have been a perfect time.
It would have been the most opportune time.
There you go. That's what I was looking for.
I tried my best.
Yeah, but the fact that they didn't let him because of past shit. There's people who are still, I'm pretty sure, like, under, whether it's on TV shows or a network that Warner Bros. Owns. I'm pretty sure there's actors or workers of these other products that Warner Bros. Produces that have so much far worse shit going on now.
Ezra Miller.
And they allow it.
Ezra Miller, point blank, period. Like, that man.
Yeah, the Dana White example is just
Dana White, Ezra Miller, who has done 800 different horrible things in the past 5 years. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
But no, hold this guy who lost his life, and now his family's can't even properly mourn because they have to worry about whether or not their daughter is going to be able to even fucking move her legs again. They can't do that because of shit that he did years ago and apologized for. Yep. It just doesn't make sense at all.
I agree.
It doesn't. Like,
you're okay.
I told myself I wasn't gonna cry, but
hey, Savannah, it's okay. It's okay.
No.
You're allowed to.
I know, it's just a very sad situation.
It's a terrible situation. I understand.
I didn't expect myself to be, like, obviously upset, but like this, I didn't expect myself to cry like this. I tried to hold it together, but just the whole situation is just, it's so heartbreaking. That's why
terrible,
I have Kenny here for support.
Yes, if you're watching the video, she has a Kenny buddy in her lap.
I have a Kenny with me, for support, but like, it's seeing the like, kind of like how you said, the impact he's left. To the point where so many people, wrestlers, fans, so many, his family, are just it's such a devastating loss because of, it just goes to show how much he truly was a part of anything he was involved in. It just goes to show how involved and what an impact he's made, like, not just on his family's world, but the wrestling world, his fans' world. So much. There's just so much he's contributed to, and there was still so much more he could have done. And I just so many things to think about. Like, yesterday, his brother's birthday. Next week, his own birthday. It's just everything to think about. It's just so devastating.
Will said the Delaware police, because this happened in Delaware, obviously. Delaware Police Department have an open investigation regarding the crash. It wasn't open and closed. I saw something that she was texting and driving, but I don't know if that's legit. Don't take anything I say about this,
Yeah.
like, take it with a grain of salt, because I don't know a lot of information. Again, I was at work all day, so I don't know any updates to the investigation at all. But to we'll close this part. So
wrap it up. Yeah.
we'll wrap it up nicely. Send love, thoughts, prayers if you're into it. Whatever you're into, send it to the Pugh family. Send it to Jay's family. They need it. There is a GoFundMe type page. I don't know what the link is or anything. But people, like, wrestlers have been tweeting it. So if you go on Twitter, you'll find it. If you want to donate to them, feel free to. There's even like if you scroll on the website, it like has like a prayer option as like a donation. You can do anything. So you all can do that. Just think about them and what they're going through. And it's a very shitty, awful, awful thing that has happened this week.
A very ugly situation that I don't wish upon anyone. I know sometimes we talk shit about like certain wrestlers and stuff, but I wouldn't wish this on anyone or their families or their loved ones or friends. It's something no one ever deserves to go through.
Yep. All right. Now everybody, I mean it. Everyone take a deep breath.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
We'll move on.
We're gonna.
I don't think we're done. I don't know if we're done. Are we done
with the sad stuff? The sad stuff, we're done. It's okay.
Okay.
There is some good news. I don't know why it's all like impact related. Frankie Kazarian, one half of the first AEW Tag Team Champions, said, I'm done with AEW and has signed a contract with Impact. He walked out of the company and said, all right, see you guys later, and now signed with Impact. He said it was like they're fine. There was no headbutting or anything, so they're okay. But at the Impact tapings, Victoria, also known as Tara, showed up and had a tag team match. I'm pretty sure I read she lost, but that doesn't matter. She wrestled. That means our woman, Victoria for Hall of Fame. # Victoria for HOF. It's Mania season. Put her in the Rumble next week. I want it. I need it. I swear. We need it. Please. Thank you. You see, Jesus said I need Victoria in the Rumble. I agree.
We all do.
And then, former NXT UK superstar Ginny, she's currently dating Gunther, for those who do not know. She announced via Twitter that she is retiring from in-ring competition, I believe due to injuries she has had. But she seems happy. She seems to be doing well. Major props to them. And I just legit saw on Twitter, because I was answering a message, I guess it happened on Tuesday, ironically enough, but Shawn Spears posted it today. Shawn and Cassie had their baby boy. So congratulations to Shawn and Cassie for the birth of their little baby boy.
Sorry, I'm gonna go look and see if they put it on their Instagram.
Austin J 11723. Oh, in the pictures, Austin holding their fingers. Oh, see, I knew there would be a little light at the end of the tunnel here.
Oh, how cute! He has such a cute little hand.
He does. Babies are adorable. And see,
congrats to them.
I mean, the world works in mysterious ways, but the fact that was Tuesday,
right?
Just wild.
But just wanted to send just a quick, I guess, show or say how happy I am. Not that I don't think Shawn Spears has any effect. I think he's very happy to be a dad, but more so for Cassie Lee, because literally if you go to her Instagram, it's one of her pinned posts. It's like basically like a time lapse, if you will, of her like trying.
Mm-hmm.
They've been trying to get pregnant and just no nothing. Like I don't even know. I would have to like go back and count, but so many times they've tried, and she takes a test negative, and oh my god, her reaction when they finally came out positive is just
Oh,
so pure. And now like now she has a baby,
I know.
so just very happy for her. She finally had her baby.
I know. I was wondering like when she was gonna give birth because
I don't know when.
I
I don't know
had
when
sorry.
like I was just gonna say I don't know when like she was officially. I forgot when she officially announced that she was pregnant.
I
But even then, we don't know how far along she was.
that's true, and the fact that like I feel like it's been so long since they announced it. I mean, time's not real, but this isn't the
I
this isn't the conspiracy theory podcast. Not yet. Just wait.
I was gonna say it might be.
Not today. Not today's episode. I am too exhausted to do some conspiracy theories right now. That's a lot of effort. I need my brain at full working capacity in order to do that, and that's not there today. And I'm tired. I
I'm
apologize for
tired
yawning.
too.
Um, let's just jump into today in women's wrestling history, unless you have anything.
No, again, like I didn't really pay much attention to much much attention to much. So look at me so good with words.
You're doing
I
great.
didn't pay much attention to anything because of what happened. Like there was just no like desire to look for anything
Yeah,
or to keep up. Like I watched Dynamite, but I really didn't pay that much attention if I'm being totally honest.
that's understandable.
Same with Raw and Smack. Well, not SmackDown because SmackDown hasn't happened yet,
SmackDown.
but like,
SmackDown's tomorrow.
but Raw. That's what I meant. Because usually when I say like Raw, it's usually Raw and SmackDown. Usually the sentences, it's like a collective.
I get you. I get you.
Yeah.
But on this day in January 19th, in 2019, it was the Queens of Combat number 29, titled "Long May She Reign." And I'll just name some of the people who were on that show. Oh god, I lost my headphone. Tasha Steeles, Kimberly, Chris Statlander, Faye Jackson, and Willow Nightingale, who were the Queens of Combat Tag Team Champions. Penelope Ford and Diamante, who at the time was the Queens of Combat World Champion. Pretty good names. Pretty good names. I love Willow.
I miss Chris Statlander. I'm like,
Oh no, she'll come up in a conversation later. Don't you worry.
oh, I know, but still, I miss her.
We will be having a very interesting conversation for the question of the week. It's not
Oh boy.
it I didn't want to make it like a WWE themed one because we're doing Rumble stuff next week, so I had to like kind of think about it, but then stuff happened on Dynamite and then my brain just went to work. So we'll get there. I promise. Everyone stay with us there. We're on to wrestlers of the week, and you get to go first.
Okay, hold on, because I write them down now, or else I forget.
Yeah, Savannah's evolving.
So
She's
for
a
now,
Pokemon.
I have for tag teams. I have two. I'm pretty sure you can kind of guess which one of them is.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm giving it to the two tag teams who had a match last night. Top Flight. I was about to say Top Gun. That's a movie.
Top Gun is a movie.
And it's a good movie, but that's not
movie.
the tag team name. Top Flight and the Young Bucks. They had a really good match. These two teams have really good chemistry, and I don't know, like every time they've had a match 3 times, but still, all 3 matches, I've kind of felt like it was more like a master and apprentice kind of deal, kind of like Anakin and Obi-Wan. You have like the Bucks, the more experienced, the older ones, and then you have like the new. Well, they're not new anymore, but at the time when they first debuted, they went up against the Young Bucks, and you had they were like the Anakin, the
You were the chosen
Padawan.
one.
Yeah, the young Padawan, the chosen one. And they finally got their win over the Young Bucks. They were 0-2, and we had a trilogy moment. And Top Flight came out with the win, really good match. And of course, I'm just gonna give a shout out to the Young Bucks for they had the J armbands. I saw the like kind of like AEW Glam, but it's like the sewing, like the seamstresses. They have their own Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And they posted a picture of the armbands, and I was like, I wonder who those are for. I should have fucking guessed it was for the Bucks, but yeah, they had those on, and they did like, moves to, honor
Mm-hmm.
Jay Briscoe, as well as like they pointed at the headband, they would like point it up and stuff. It was a good tribute to him, and it just goes to show how much they really cared about him. And I loved their matches with the Briscoes, so yeah, it was just good. Just like I'm glad that even before the unfortunate situation, like the Bucks just happened to have a match for that Dynamite afterwards, and I'm glad they took the opportunity to honor him.
Yeah.
So those.
Okay, sorry.
I was gonna say those are my tag teams.
I was gonna say, yeah, Bucks, Brian, Bandito, Lethal, off the top of my head, all had either a Jay or a Briscoe armband on.
Yeah.
I think that might be all. And then, of course, like I said, there was like that Ring of Honor, Jay Briscoe tribute show. So I haven't seen like the clips or anything of that yet. So I'm assuming the majority of people probably had those on as well. And Jesus wrote a very long comment, so I will read it for him. On this day, also, Rise and Booker's promotion, oh, that makes sense, held a joint show called Row on the Rise. Mercedes Martinez defended the Rise title against Kylie Ray, and I know this because I was there, and I also had to do a quick check.
Nice.
Hey, thank you, Jesus. I appreciate it. Also, a special shout out because it is War Daddy's birthday today. So happy birthday, War Daddy. I should have worn my Pin Me War Daddy shirt, but I don't know where it is right now. In my defense, I just found a random shirt, and it's my War shirt.
Stand, all of us except Vince stand War Daddy.
Yeah, because he just doesn't.
I don't know if anyone else, but I know we stand War Daddy.
We stand War Daddy in this house. In this household, we stand War Daddy.
Yeah, it's not whose house Swerve's house, it's whose house War Daddy's house.
It's not Soraya's house, it's not Swerve's house, it's War Daddy's house. So I knew Savannah was going to pick the Bucks and Top Flight because I know Savannah. So I'm choosing... Just a little too well. I'm picking the Street Profits because these boys can cook. I'm telling you, ever since people have been saying, oh, they're going to break up and Montez is going to be the star, Angelo Dawkins has been showing up and showing out every goddamn week, as he should. Listen, shuts them up for good. I love both of them. I don't want them to break up. If they do break up, I want them to both have successful singles careers. Do not Marty Jannetty this man. I swear.
They shouldn't break up. I feel like they're, if anything, one of the most, if not the most, like, capable tag team at the moment to take at least one of the tag titles off the Usos. Like, I know people could say maybe the New Day, but they're kind of, New Day's living it up in NXT. So.
Oh yeah, they're vibing. They're vibing in NXT. Yeah. A little known fact. I actually don't know if you know this. So originally, they were going to. If you watch NXT, you saw that Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston were like kind of dressed up. They had like nice shirts and ties on. Well, originally.
Oh yeah, I did see this.
They were going to do a quote unquote funeral segment for Pretty Deadly's tag team title opportunities, but. After they heard about everything with Jay Briscoe, they changed the plans basically like right before the show. And I will give credit where it's credit due. They did acknowledge it on NXT. Vic Joseph and Booker T did send their condolences, and that's what we need. Like it shouldn't matter what company, doesn't matter what brand. Wrestling is wrestling. This is a community. Express it. Share the love. So, big shout out to them and doing all that. I'm happy they didn't go through with that segment because then people would have been pissed.
Oh, no. Yeah, and first of all, I don't even think they would have been comfortable doing it anyway.
Oh, like, no. After they heard, they would
be...
No way.
Honestly, if they would have, like, forced them, like, no, there's, like, you have to go do it, like, it's already planned. Like, I think they would have probably, like, walked out or refused to go out or something. Like, I don't think they would have gone out just because they didn't change plans. I don't think the New Day would ever do something like that. They're too kind.
They would never. Like, come on, those are the boys.
But I'm glad everyone agreed to scrap that because oh my god.
Yeah, and now we're getting a triple threat tag team match at Vengeance Day. So
there you go. Sometimes shit just needs to like not happen to get something else.
Exactly. But it is your turn, so you going Famales?
I do. I am going for Molly's. It's kind of like with the tag match, two participants from a match. I'm giving it to Tegan Knox and Zia Lee. Good match. Love both wrestlers. Tegan takes the W. And I want more for both of them, of course. Obviously, I know it's a little hard for the women's division, but I mean, let's get something going, especially for these two women.
Uh, you're telling me those are my ladies. Come on now,
Yeah.
Xia Li, kick me right in the face.
Oh, so I
Everyone
said
knows.
Zia. Excuse me, Zia Lee.
I
Um,
know what you meant. I know what you meant. It's fair. It's fair.
But Tegan Knox and Zia Lee are my picks for Molly's of the week.
Famales. Mine.
Yes.
I'm going the NXT route. I'm going Sol Ruka. Listen, she's so good. Matt and I were talking about her finish. Whackers bonkers. Like, it's crazy. Like, you've probably seen it, like, on
Yeah.
social media. It's beautiful. It's called Soul Snatcher.
I saw you guys talking about it on Twitter.
Did you?
What are these nerds talking about? No, I'm just kidding.
That's us.
Um,
We were talking about her finisher.
yeah, I saw you guys talking about it.
Yeah,
and I've seen it. I've seen the clips and stuff.
It's a thing of beauty, and you got to give credit where credit's due. Takes two to tango. Alba Fire. With like everything going on with her and like Isla Dawn too, that shit still has me intrigued. Very excited. But Sol Ruka, talented as all hell, has only been on TV for like less than a year.
Really?
Yeah. Nerds. Hey.
I was joking.
Hey.
I was joking.
You guys can fight. You guys can fight off stream.
I don't feel like fighting. I already cried today. I don't need to cry again.
Hey, I understand. I get it. But yeah, Sol Ruka, that finish, dope. Alba Fire, fantastic. I love Sol Ruka. She got the push that they were trying to give to Fakita, basically. That's what I think. And I'm okay with it, because I love them both. So. But now we're on to your Manses.
Manses, I have two. Surprisingly, not from the same match.
Wow.
But the first one, I'm giving it to the American Dragon Jake Long, Bryan Danielson, because, I mean, dude just doesn't miss. Like, I don't think it doesn't matter who the fuck his opponent is. He does not miss. He's one of the greatest. People say he's one of the greatest for a reason.
He's a
obviously agree. Yeah, I agree. Because, again, he is always incredible in all his matches. And I know they're just building up this whole thing with MJF. He's gonna go to Revolution and have a 60 Iron Man match. That is probably gonna end do like a Bret Hart. I think that's gonna be like a Bret Hart Shawn Michaels situation. It's gonna be a tie, and then they're gonna do a sudden death where MJF does some sketchy shit and then wins like that.
Listen, this pay-per-view is already going to be 800 hours long. I can't have them go into sudden death. They're
gonna go into sudden death.
I can't.
Or at the very least, at the very last second, someone's gonna, aka MJF. I don't think they're gonna take the title off him that soon.
Maybe. Probably not, but
either he's gonna do something at the very end. At the very least. But I really think it's gonna do. I don't know why. When they said 60-minute Iron Man match, I was like, dude, this is just giving me Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart.
Could you imagine a 60-man Iron Man match? That'd be crazy.
60 men, yeah. Dude, make it happen.
You need 3 rings at least.
Probably, yeah. Even then, it wouldn't be enough.
That's not.
And
enough.
How do you keep track of all the falls? And where would you even keep score on the screen? You wouldn't be able to.
That'd be fucking crazy.
But yeah, I wonder. Wait, did they? Again, like I said, I didn't really pay much attention. Did they announce who Brian's next opponent is?
Brian Cage.
Yeah, there you go. I was like, I could have sworn they did.
Brian versus Brian.
They're gonna obviously, give Bryan Danielson some roadblocks. I honestly think one of the roadblocks, this is gonna come a lot coming from me, and I'm gonna cover his ears. I think one of the roadblocks, like I said, Bryan Danielson is going to Revolution. It's gonna happen, But I think one of the roadblocks should be Kenny Omega. I know Kenny said there ain't gonna be a rematch, but look, maybe you could get a rematch. and maybe, have Danielson win so it doesn't just end in a draw. Which I'm sorry, but like, come on, like just something, something down the line, and it'll be a good match. Their first match together was incredible. Just a thought.
Do you now? Correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't fully remember. Didn't MJF say that basically Bryan had to go on like a winning streak until like mid-February?
Basically.
Okay, so then that's only like 3 more matches, right? Because
one of them's gonna be in El Paso. Holy shit! Maybe it'll be the Kenny one, the Kenny one if it happens. But I'm just saying.
Matt said Satan is at work.
They should. I'm just like, come on though, Katie, be honest. Like, except I don't know if Kenny's willing to work for or with MJF. With as in like do his dirty work. But I don't know. It could be. It'll be cool.
I don't know. I mean, the 2 matches already, Takeshita and Bandito. Those matches, I liked the Bandito one more. I think, personally speaking, but both were fantastic. Brian Cage, that's gonna be like the Rey Mysterio versus Big Show type of matchup. Like Brian's a small guy compared to Brian,
or like the Fiend and Bryan Danielson.
I literally forgot that match happened. That too.
I said the wrong Bryan and Daniel.
There's a lot of variations of it.
Yeah, but okay, so yeah, I think obviously he's gonna get to it, but I like this streak that he's on. He's on a good winning streak. But I'm just thinking like, why is it only with MJF do people have to like do these kind of things? Like with Jericho, it wasn't even for a title match. It was just because he wanted a match with him. I'm like, but he had to do he had a new opponent every week and he had to beat them.
Yep.
So,
well, this one's also different because you think of So Brian Cage is just that small? If they're the same height? Damn.
Really? I didn't know that. Maybe he's just since he's so
he's just
muscular.
He's this fucking big.
Yeah.
Brian Cage is like, there's no way I'm taller than Brian Cage. I'm 5'3".
I'm 5'2". There's no way. I refuse to believe I'm as tall as him.
I would lose my mind. I'd be laughing. I'd be laughing in his face.
I'm gonna look it up.
Well, I mean, Matt probably looked it up, but double check him.
That's true.
I know.
Sorry, Matt. Not that I don't believe you.
We'll look up how tall.
Okay, no, he's fucking. It says 6 foot even.
What the fuck?
Why do we listen to it?
Damn it, Matt. Well, how tall is Bryan Danielson?
Maybe he's the 5'2".
Maybe.
Hold on. Bryan Danielson. 5'10". It's not that much of a difference.
God.
It's like 2 inches.
Okay. I thought they were. Listen, I don't know. Fuck you, Matt.
Okay, but sorry. I kind of got sidetracked there.
We got way sidetracked.
My second pick, he's in the main event. I know it wasn't going to happen, but I still wanted him to win. I'm giving it to Kushida. He made his AEW debut. I love his, Marty McFly outfit, gotta respect. And, I'm glad that he's happy where he is. I know people, I know some people were a little bummed that he left NXT, but I mean, it's his choice, people.
I mean, he's vibing. He's just hanging out.
He got a TNT title shot. But yeah, it was good to see him. It was really good to see him on AEW, and I like Kushida, so
we do
like. And again, it was a good match. Also, I wish he would have won, but I mean, I knew it wasn't gonna happen. But still, I could wish.
When you try your best, but you don't succeed, am I right?
Yes.
You guys are never gonna believe this. My pick. Jesus Christ. Jesus. My pick is also, I'm adding to his name. This is now the full name. The American Nightmare Dragon Bryan Danielson, or Jake Long Bryan Danielson. So I'll say it again, because it just fits. It's
okay.
The American Nightmare Dragon Jake Long Bryan Danielson.
That dude's got a long name.
It's the full name. I don't make the rules, guys.
If I remember correctly, I don't know how it is now on the newer WWE games, but if I remember correctly, because it was a while since I played this game, but on 2K14,
Oh God, okay.
um, if you make the name like super long, like at its max, it'll just go off the lower third and just continue on the screen. Like it's pretty funny. It's dumb, but it's funny. But that's just what that reminded me of. That's what his would look like.
It would just be so funny. I don't know. I was thinking about it when I was like writing my like spits and swallows for Smacking Raw. I was like Brian. I just put like Brian and Bandito, but then I was like thinking. I was like they call him the American Nightmare. They call Cody that, and I was like, well, it's American, and then I was just like working my way through it. I was like, the American Nightmare Dragon, Jake Long, Brian Danielson. I mean,
it's like Smitty Warbin Jiggerman Jensen from SpongeBob.
He was number one. That's all I gotta say.
And so, yeah.
That's all I gotta say about that. It's like Doug Dimmadome under the the Dimsdale Dimmadome.
I don't know that I know what you're talking about, but I could never get the phrase right for the life of me. If someone could, like, I'm pretty sure Jesus got it down, but like, freaking Fairly Odd Parents.
Fairly Odd Parents was iconic. It's like Doug. Now I'm like thinking about Doug Dimmadome.
Doug's Dimmadome something.
Oh no, the Dim. Fuck, I don't know. It's been a while.
I think my sister knows it for some reason, but yeah. God, I love that show. Okay.
What a good show. Let's move on to the question of the week. Now, like I said, I didn't want to do another WWE question because we're going to be doing that next week. And I think we did one last week.
Yeah, because for the Rumble.
For the Rumble.
The Rumble is important. It is my favorite pay-per-view for the WWE.
That is the...
there you
Doug
go.
Dimmadome under the Dimsdale Dimmadome. Oh, okay, yeah. And then he, like, adds on to it, like, later in seasons. It's ridiculous. So... I had... It's on Dynamite, there was some tension between the ladies, if you will. Saraya and Tony turned heel, to everyone's surprise. Yeah. So then that started some speculation on the Twitter sphere with the Twitterverse and the IWC. What if we got a AEW Women's Blood and Guts match between...
I saw that. I saw people talking about that idea, which, I mean, I wouldn't be upset about at all.
So we got the AEW Homegrowns, quote-unquote Homegrowns, versus the AEW quote-unquote Outsiders is how I'm deeming this. So...
I would say, like, maybe not... Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, like, I know people say Homegrowns, but, like, not really... Like, if you think about, like, all the women, there's really not many, like, homegrown, you know? Like, I would say AEW originals. Like, they were from, like, you know, since day one-ish, you know? Down since day one-ish.
We the ones, exactly. Yeah. So, like, I mean, well...
Homegrown originals.
Yeah, like, homegrown originals...
Versus Fed releases. I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna, like, kind of... Who would we want on each of these teams? Let's just say, like...
The roster.
We'll just say, like, 5 women per team. Yeah. I feel like that's a reasonable number. Because you gotta think about, who came from... WWE, or, like, who came from, like, Stardom, and try and think about that versus people who you have mainly only seen in AEW. I know one pick I for sure would want on the Homegrown Originals, if she was cleared for said match, Chris Statlander.
Yeah. Well, you said we were gonna come back to her.
If she's 100% cleared, if this again, we're fantasy booking. If this match happens, if Chris Statlander is cleared, I want Statlander on the team. She is fantastic.
Originals on AEW Originals, right? Or
yes.
Okay. So, I think I'm taking after Jesus also. I think Britt and Jamie should definitely be in the AEW one, like AEW Originals. I would also throw in, you said Chris Statlander, right?
Yes.
So that's 3.
That's 3.
I would also want to throw in Anna Jay.
Okay.
And Jade Cargill. Like, I was gonna give it to Sheeta. I don't know. Maybe I should replace Sheeta with Anna. Anna with Sheeta. But I saw Jade and I'm like, you know what? She needs to be on there. Like she needs to. There's so many women though. Like you. Okay. Yeah.
I would
So
maybe
probably
take
yeah.
I would maybe take Anna out and put Nyla in.
Okay, I can do that. I honestly, yeah, I think that's a good idea. We can do that.
So Statlander, Britt, Jamie Hayter, Nyla Rose, Jade Cargo.
Yes, that's a hell of a team right
That's
there.
a stacked ass team.
Dude, I'd be fucking scared to go up
I'd
against that
be
team.
I would just see Statlander alone and be like, I'm out. See you guys later. I'm out the cage. See you guys later.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I'm like, or same with Jade. I'd be like, yeah, thanks, but no thanks. Like, I'll just lay down, put your foot on me, go ahead.
It's
like, I'll just give it to you.
Fuck the shit, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, like I ain't even gonna try. I choose life. So Jade, spare me.
Basically.
And with Britt, I'd just be like, can you put me in the lockjaw and how much?
Basically. So now let's do the quote-unquote outsiders. So, I mean, obviously the two who are starting this, Saraya and Tony.
Probably Athena.
Yeah.
So 3. Ruby Soho. I know she's with, like, kind of still teamed with Willow, but this is dream booking, so.
A lot of people were fantasy booking that Ruby's gonna turn and join.
It kind of looked like it. She looked kind of, like, a little hesitant there, like, at some points. So, I don't know. So, Saraya, Tony, Athena, Ruby Soho. These are all WWE. Like
Jesus said Saraya, Tony, Athena, Ruby, and Renee Paquette.
no. I mean, I'm pretty sure Renee knows how to use nunchucks because good boy John Moxley.
True.
But would you honestly? I think we should do this because she's the original like first from WWE goes to AEW. So much so that she's almost an original, and that's Ty Conti. Remember, she was in NXT. But she got released, and then she went to AEW, and I think she really built herself from there. Obviously, I don't like I don't like the shit she's doing with Sammy, but honestly, ever since they really were involved with the JAS, they've kind of dialed back just a little bit. But, I mean, she's like the original, like, the release, and then signed with AEW, you know? I feel like she's like the original one of those. Maybe John Moxley... Like, as the original.
Oh, I was like, Mox can't be in this match.
I mean, as far as who's released from the WWE going into AEW, he's like the original of the men's, and then the ladies, I think is Ty Conti. So, I mean, if you want to count it, I think it counts because she was in NXT. But
so we'll keep her on the back burner. How about Mercedes Martinez? She was in NXT before going to AEW. That is also true.
That is true. Also, this is completely like wild card, but she wasn't a AEW original, and that is Thunder Rosa. She came from NWA. She was the champion when she first appeared in AEW.
I was gonna say Rosa or Deeb, yeah.
Those were both really good, also. Because it doesn't have to be just...
Oh, yeah, it doesn't have to be just WWE.
So, I don't want to sound mean, but I think I would want to replace Ruby with Serena Deeb and then put in Thunder Rosa as the last. So that way kind of like a good mix. Like WWE and, CM Punk. Oh, my God. CM Punk is like his own...
CM Punk can't be in this match. He's not with any company right now.
As far as we know.
And I don't want him in this match. This is for the lotties. This is for the ladies.
The
lotties.
Then AJ Mendez. Aha. Loophole.
Listen, they keep she keeps tweeting and they keep showing stuff about her. And if they're toying with my emotions, no, you know what? I'll say fantasy stuff for next week. Rumble stuff next week. Because I will cry my eyes out if AJ Lee's music hits.
I will scream. I will fucking scream.
I will
Katie.
cry, throw up, scream all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It will happen. She has blue hair now and it looks great. I
know. I saw that.
Because it's AJ. She's goddamn gorgeous. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just like, I will say though, I'm like, AJ, why didn't you do your hair like this when you were wrestling? Imagine if she had pink and she had like the half pink, half black shorts. Like, come on.
Oh, true.
It was right there.
Right there! But, we can't have nice things, so. What else is new? She was great to meet. Okay, Jesus is just gloating now that he got the meter.
Stop your gloating.
Rude, disrespectful. But yeah, so our fantasy booked blood and guts. It's been a long time. Blood and guts match for the Lotties. For the homegrown original side, we have Chris Statlander, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
That Tony Schiavone cannot have.
Fuck Tony Schiavone. The current AEW Women's Champion, Jamie Hayter, Nyla Rose, and the current TBS Champion, Jade Cargill.
The fucking stacked ass card.
Stacked. Taking on the Outsiders. I'm putting it in quotes. We have Saraya, Toni Storm, Athena, current Ring of Honor Women's Champion, Serena Deeb, and Thunder Rosa. Also a stacked team. Also stacked.
Also very stacked. That would be a really good match.
And since people want to complain, mainly Ric Flair, want to complain about women bleeding, this is the perfect opportunity to do this shit.
I saw that it was after the street fight on Rampage. Yep. First of all, oh my god, I should have mentioned this earlier. I wanted to give a shout out to Anna Jay. Oh my god, that fucking spot where she landed right on her back. They missed the table. Ugh. I don't blame anyone.
That table should have been further back.
I don't know who thought that it should be, like, right up against the...
That's what I'm saying. Like, it should have been, like, pushed further back, and then Willow wouldn't be the one going through it. Anna would be. So that's on whoever set that table up. I'm blaming them.
But, I hope Anna's okay. God damn, that was a rough landing. But,
yes.
People were, like talking about how uncomfortable it makes them when, like, the women are bleeding and stuff. So someone responded to that tweet saying, like, look, retweet this to scare wrestling fans, and it shows, like, you know, like Ty Conti, Ruby Soho bleeding and stuff. I'm like, that's pretty funny. Like,
I mean, I hate to break it to you guys, but, like, women bleed every month. Whoa.
It's kind of gross.
I know.
It's kind of gross, actually, but...
It's actually kind of painful and annoying and gross, but yeah, it's a thing. I know. I'm so sorry. Like, well, okay, I'll say most women. Some don't. They had things taken out and things... It happens.
Or they're done. They're just done.
Exactly. So the majority of people our age, in our age range, we bleed every month. Sorry, not sorry. Tough shit. So women bleed. Fucking deal with it.
You said that, like, some women, like, get it taken out and stuff. It just made me think a lot of women in my family have had that procedure done, not because they wanted to, but it was just kind of like, you should get this taken out so you don't get some sort of very deadly
it's crazy
because they detect, like, cancer and shit, and then they're like, yeah, you should just take it out. I'm like, but I mean, one of my aunts, my dad's fiance, and now my other aunt, my mom's twin, all of them. I'm like, shit, man. I'm like, you know what? Let me just go get it done now. Get it over with so I don't have to deal with it later.
Yeah, my aunt actually got, like, literally everything you could think of removed.
I think that's what the aunt who lives in Dallas, I think she got, like, everything. I think also my mom's twin might also. I don't know, but just damn. That's all I gotta say. Damn.
Yeah. So, anyways, enjoy the women talk at the very end of this episode.
I know, right? It is a women's wrestling podcast. Can
you believe? Who run the world? Girls. Exactly. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Hope you enjoyed the roller coaster this episode has been.
Holy shit.
Oh, God, hold on. There we go. There's probably not gonna be a post show because I'm tired. She's tired. I got shit to do.
Also starving.
She's hungry, so I'm just Johnny exhausted. Hungry. She's Johnny hungry over there. So Savannah, tell people where they can find you and what you're working on, all that jazz.
I don't like when you say what I'm working on because I don't have shit.
You're also in school.
I'm working on school. That's what I'm working on.
That's
okay. But anyways, you can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at y2garcia_. I'm just joking, but I was gonna say that debating whether or not I should be Y2 Garcia go, you know, because they said that shit on Dynamite last night. But no, I'm not changing it. I'm Y2 Garcia_. If there's no underscore, it's not me. That mistake has been made. I really don't have much going on, but not by choice. I really want to try and do something, especially with one of my shows like The Fuse, but I just struggling with an idea. I might just have to pull something out of my ass just at some point.
May I make
New
a
Japan
suggestion?
Yes, you can DM it to me.
Okay.
I was like, if you want to say it now, I mean, I won't.
I mean, I can't. I mean, it kind of relates to what we were talking about earlier. You could do. I mean, I know it's like mainly an AEW show, but talk about all the matches the Bucks have had with the Briscoes.
Oh, that's a fucking good one. I can go back and rewatch it and talk about that. I'm not gonna make me cry. Okay, I'll consider.
I was just a suggestion. Just a
suggestion. Just because I don't want to cry. You already saw how I was now. This episode, but anyways. New Japan Takeover, though, is back. We did, not too long ago, a show on Wrestle Kingdom, and now there's going to be another show, I believe is it this month or next month? Next month, I believe, Battle of the Valleys, so I'm going to plan on watching that. We'll do an episode on that as well. But yeah, I'm, again, mostly working on schoolwork, because I just started a new semester, and now I have classes in the afternoon, so it's a little harder to get together and record, but that's okay. Yeah, that's all I got going on. But yeah, Katie, your turn.
My turn. Okay. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at KatieRasslin13. The link to your invite to get all things ShElite Showcase, twitch.tv/ShElite Showcase, typically Thursdays, 6 p.m. Eastern. Usually. YouTube.com/ShElite Showcase. I see watching videos because they're way more entertaining. Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Yeah, you can see the Candy Buddy. Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, if you want to listen on your drive home, on your way to work, in the shower, whatever you want to do. If you want to listen meditating, do what you gotta do. I don't judge. Give us listens. Muchas gracias. ShElite Showcase is the show and the brand and the show that we do that you're currently watching. Hi, hello, how are you? Inside the Mind of is an interview series I do. A new episode will be dropping on Monday with Joey Carney from the Angle Podcast. One of my favorites. It was a great conversation. He gave me a lot of tips and tricks for podcasting in general. So if you want to learn about the analytics and things, that's later in the episode that I have with him. You can also check out Krista B's episode and all the past ones from last year. Those are the main ones, like I've said before, that I'm going to be working on this year. Might dabble in some stuff here and there for YouTube content. Excuse me, but that's like the main stuff. So again, oh god, I am so sorry. I just can't control my breathing right now. For Miss Y2 Garcia Savannah and Katie Kinsey Big Bay is ShElite Showcase. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.